Welcome to the Nail Engineer, and I've got another swatch video for you with these 6 colours from Madam Glam. We've got a couple of purpley plums, a couple of neutrals and a couple of Onestep gels to try out. These are Plum Addict, then Onestep gel called Perfect Plum. We've got Workaholic here, which I'm told is really similar to a colour that I already have called Back to Cali, so we'll compare and contrast those. I'm hoping it'll be a bit less kind of grey toned. Another Onestep gel called Coral Creeper, which after my chrome hack video I'm hoping will be perfect for getting rose gold. We've got Shimmer all over, another Onestep, which I'm hoping will be a good replacement for my CND Grapefruit Sparkle, because I really want to get rid of my last few CNDs now. And then finally we've got this nude peachy tone called Delicacy. So let's see how they swatch. First up we'll try Plum Addict, and it's got a nice thick consistency as with most of the Madam Glam colours. Oh, and it's looking like it might be quite opaque on the first coat, which is always promising. So maybe this one might be a true 2-coater. Certainly looks like it. You can just slightly see through that with the naked eye, not so much on camera. Next up we've got Onestep Perfect Plum, which is looking a bit thicker actually than some of the other Onesteps, so hopefully it'll give good coverage. It looks very brown, like on the brush and also on the little sticker that's on the top, but as you can see when it's going on the pop there, it's not brown at all. And it does seem to have a bit of a thicker consistency than some of the other Onesteps. A bit kind of stickier as well, although I am working in rather a cold environment today. But you can see it's quite sheer there. Let's see if it corrects itself on the second coat. Next up, Workaholic, which is a nice neutral shade. And it certainly looks like it's got the same kind of consistency as Back to Cali, but straight away from memory I can see that it's ever so slightly more warm toned and less grey kind of toned than Back to Cali, but there's not much in them, but you can see there it's pretty much fully opaque on the first coat, even when I hold it up to the light. Next up, Delicacy, and this is looking kind of similar to another colour I've got called My Oh My, but maybe it's a bit more peach, and it's like sitting somewhere in between My Oh My and No Taboo, but it certainly looks nice on the pop. It's not quite as opaque as the last one, Workaholic, but good enough coverage for the first coat. So next we've got Shimmer all over, another Onestep, and as I mentioned, I'm looking for a replacement for CND Grapefruit Sparkle, which is one of the few colours of CNDs that I haven't managed to replace with another brand yet. And I'm doing this on one clear pop just so that you can see like how opaque it is and whether it's kind of streaky or not, and actually that's pretty good, pretty even, but you can see it's definitely a sheer one, which could make it perfect for like a French. I like to put my colour over the white just to kind of like dull it down a little bit. I'm not a fan of the kind of bright white pawn nail French look. Obviously you'll have like a little bit of a lip there, and what I normally do is just go over with my top coat in the like the nail bed area only, just to bring it up a level, and then go over the whole lot with top coat just to kind of like smooth out that line. And the last of the first coats, and that's this Onestep Coral Creeper, which as I mentioned before I'm looking to use with my chrome hack technique to get a nice rose gold. So what I'll do is I'll actually do 2 of these pops, and I'll try one with chrome pigment over just to see how it comes out. It's looking very sheer, as I know a lot of the Onesteps are, but I don't think that that's like a major issue because it is Onestep after all, so it is saving you base coat and top coat. So if you need to put an extra layer or 2 on there, you're no worse off. So we'll get this cured and we'll come back for the second coats. So just a side note on Delicacy, and you probably can't see it here on camera, but in person I can see that it's still just a little bit patchy on the second coat, so I would definitely go for 3 coats on this colour. So I'm going to put 3rd coats on this, on the Perfect Plum Onestep, and I'll put a 3rd coat on my Shimmer all over as well, which is quite sheer, and the Coral Creeper, and then come back with the finished top coated pops. And before we look at the finished pops, just to test out my rose gold chrome theory with Coral Creeper, I've prepared this second swatch. I'm just going over with the chrome, and as per my chrome hack video, I've done nothing to this Madam Glam Onestep. I've just put it straight on the pot, no base coat, no top coat, straight in after curing with chrome powder, and as you can see, going under the nail without any problems at all, lovely and shiny. So here are the finished pops, and first up we have got Plum Addict, which is the regular gel polish, and as you can see, it's very true to the colour in the top of the bottle, and against my skin it's just a really nice kind of deep purple colour, compared to, if I hold this one up to my skin as well, that's the Perfect Plum Onestep, which has definitely got more kind of browny tones and is a darker purple. And that's Onestep, so it's no wipe, no base, just on the nail and ready to go. And just on a side note with this one, because I had issues with the opacity, that's actually 3 coats, but it looks like there's a few little bald spots, so maybe 4 coats would get full opacity. So I tried it over another Madam Glam Onestep called Anytime, which is much more opaque, just to like give it underwear. And I don't know if you can see in person, but I will get pictures in daylight. It does give it a slightly warmer tone, which I think I actually prefer. Now on to Workaholic, and this is back to Cali, and I was hoping that it would be like a slightly warmer colour than back to Cali, and actually it's not. It does look a little bit more pinky, but it's still got that kind of greyness to it. And if anything, I think it's a little bit colder, but they're so close in person that I would definitely say if you've got one, don't bother with the other. If you want the warmer tone, go for Back to Cali, and if you want a cooler tone, go for Workaholic. Now on to Shimmer all over, the Onestep that I'm hoping will replace my CND Grapefruit Sparkle. And there they are, side by side, and you can see they're really similar. The only possible criticism that I would have is that the CND is a bit more glittery and less kind of frosty, if you know what I mean. And I would dare say that if I'd been a bit more careful on my application, I could have avoided, see these kind of streaky lines. Plus this is like 3 coats of this, and I'm only really intending to use it for like French manicure, and you can see that it is not streaky for the French manicure. Now on to Delicacy, which is a nice kind of neutral nude peachy shade, which is indeed sitting somewhere between my other colours, No Taboo, which is, if I can get my fingers to work. So this is No Taboo here, and that is My Oh My. And in person you can see that My Oh My is just a tad pinker and a little bit darker in colour than this one, Delicacy. So that should be a nice addition to my collection. Finally, we have got the Onestep in Coral Creeper, which in person is like a really bright neon orange. It's not something that I'd be likely to wear on its own, and certainly the name Coral Creeper is a little bit misleading if you're expecting it to be a coral, because it's not. It's bright orange, but bright orange is what I wanted because that's the colour that it looked on the website, and this is the reason why, for chroming in rose gold. And this is how it compares to my others, and you might have seen one of my other videos, Quest for the Best Rose Gold, in which I felt that the best combo was So Hot, which is also quite an orangey kind of coral colour, but you can see it's got a very slightly different tone. It's a bit more kind of pinky. And I would say that this is probably sitting between No Taboo, which was just not quite rosy enough, and So Hot. And I do actually prefer it. It looks much truer to rose gold in person than either of the other two, so that's a winner. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this Swatch-A-Thon, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.